Thunder Grunt.
Warning! The following program may contain adult or offensive language, excessive drinking, extra lives, heavy nostalgia, dragons, and general dipshittery. Listener discretion is advised.
Holy jeez, and welcome to MAGCast, the music and gaming festival's #1 Supremo podcast extraordinaire. I'll be with you on this lovely journey. My name's Big Adam. To my... I can't keep that shit anymore.
Oh, come on. You could have held it longer than that.
Holy shit! Welcome to MAGCast. There we go.
Yeah.
I had to do it. I couldn't
I
keep
had my
up
happy
that
persona
nonsense.
all set up.
You do, well, you can
Huey
still
had
do
such
it.
a great-
Oh, yeah.
It's done.
Huey had a surprise happy persona. Go fucking figure. Anyway, again, my name's Big Adam. I'm the captain of this
Big Adamame.
good ship fucking thing that we do that 10 of you
Lollipop.
listen to.
Lollipop.
To my left is MAGCast's very own technical producer, Mr. Ryan. Boy, am I glad I checked the audio levels before we started recording. Meyer.
That is a true story.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We've got some fun planned for this episode.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
looking forward to this one.
We need to
Fun
remember
is
to
in
start
air
mail
quotes.
before an hour and 15 minutes in, so we don't run
Always
an
in
That's
hour
true.
and 40 minutes or whatever it was from last week.
That's true. That is true. Sitting to his left is a man who plays video games like his life depended on it, because he's better than all and he's still surviving. Mr. Orvie Thummel. What's
My
up,
life
dude?
does depend on it. It's the only thing I have left. If
It's
I
your
wasn't good at
lifeblood?
video games, I'd probably just kill myself at this point.
Well, that
got
got real dark.
Hey,
Let
we
me-
tried to start nice, and you
We
couldn't
did.
handle
I
it, so
couldn't.
we're going straight into hell.
Let me turn the music up a little bit here.
Sitting to his left is the exact opposite of darkness. He's the light that shines upon all of us here in Ballum Garden. Mr. Huey Hanzo.
Did you say Olive Garden?
I said Ballum
Palm
Garden.
Garden.
Oh.
This
Come on,
is the
bro.
song we're listening to, Hugh.
Oh.
God.
I really could go for some breadsticks now.
Move,
I mean, I
move,
wouldn't be
move
sad
on,
about some
Adam.
breadsticks.
Just move on.
Sitting.
If you could please send us some breadsticks at podcast@magcast.org.
Can we 3D print some breadsticks, guys?
Oh my god, if we get email with breadsticks, I'm going to be so happy. Sitting to his left is, right back going down into the darkness.
The deep
He's a man who
drums in the deep.
has only ever cared about Nintendo and nothing more. As a matter of fact,
That's not true.
Connor was the second choice of name for his child, as the first was Nintendo.
It was not actually. I actually strayed away from video game names because I didn't want to do it be so stereotypically nerdy.
We all know that's a lie. And this is Mike TV.
Hi everyone. I'm still happy. We're still in like my favorite time of the year. It's Adams who's the grump right now.
I'm not a grump. I'm in a fine mood.
Yeah, really?
That's not what I've heard. Or
Yeah.
actually, that is what I've heard. He is in a fine mood. I don't know if you've been on Facebook recently, Michael Television, but
Really, what is happening on the Facebook?
Yeah,
well,
what
it
is-
turns
Yeah,
out that
I'd like to know.
that Adam has recently proclaimed his love for the holiday classic, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's
so much to
right.
the point that
Welcome to the
he's-
fold. Did you know Hot Topic is getting an entirely new stock of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff? We should
And
go
if,
shopping.
and if
Right.
you find
this
Adam Chase on
podcast
Facebook,
right
you can
now.
tell because his Facebook profile picture is just a picture of his favorite scene, and he just imposed himself right there, where Jack
Himself.
Skellington makes
You know,
first contact with the claws.
and then his local fan club, lovingly called the Chase Scene, decided to, adopt that photo as our own.
Yes.
So
And-
we were helping spread the newly found holiday cheer
Yes.
of Adam's love for Halloween and all things related.
It flows out of him like a font. You know, you're just a font of spookiness and
Isn't it?
I hope
Holiday-
all of you get in
holiday
fiery
cheer.
car wrecks on your way home.
Hey,
that
I didn't
sounds
change my
awfully
profile
spooky to
picture.
me.
Yeah.
Way to go, Adam.
What happened? What'd you say?
I said that.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh my God, we're on a podcast, Adam. You have to keep riffing.
I was listening to other people.
Nah, MAGCast news.
What?
The Chase Scene.
The chase scene,
You
apparently.
can join the chase scene by emailing us at
Podcast at
ma-
Adam.
at adamchasescene.com.
All right, we got like
Dot
4 days to
fame.
get that set up,
That's dot
guys.
fame.
All right, guys, we got to set up adamchasescene.com.
Or is it at adam.chase?
Adam.fame.
Or chase.scene?
Chase.scene.com.
No, just
I
chase.scene.
like chase.scene.com, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
We're done.
Squarespace. Let's
we're
go.
done. Cool.
You see what it's a multi-meaning thing. The chase scene. Your last name is Chase, and we're chasing you to get information
Hey,
about
buddy,
you.
cheer up.
It's a scene. You know, like
It's
the kids
still almost
say.
Halloween.
And obviously, a chase scene is something action-packed in a movie. So it works on a lot of levels, is what I'm saying.
So when we eventually make the movie, the documentary about the chase scene, there's going to be one particular scene that's just going to be so meta.
Yeah, totally.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And that documentary is going to be called Adam and Me. Sorry, guys. I dropped it. Adam's crossing his arms and looking at me, and it's throwing me off. I can't even tell if his eyes are open.
We need news quick.
Click.
This is just going to spiral out of control.
I'm letting you guys take the ship down.
This is hardly a ship.
You just got to replace that last letter with something else.
We don't have any MAGFest news. MAGFest isn't doing anything cool
I
anytime
mean,
soon.
we had that MAGFest thing in February, but that's a ways off. And we had that Mag Classic thing, but that was like a month ago. So no,
Is there
not
a
really.
Game Over that already happened?
Game Over New York happened, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did.
When's the next press start?
Next week? Well,
Hey,
wait,
that's-
what's
The day this releases.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
No
Releases
news.
next week?
Yes.
No news is good news.
The
I
week
thought it
after the
was the
day
29th
after
or
this
something.
releases. It is.
Yeah.
It's the 29th. October
Yeah,
29th at the
29th.
Crown in Baltimore. This
And
is
next
actually going to come
weekend,
out
if you're at
slightly before that.
AUSA, MAGFest will be representing there. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sorry, I don't keep up with every goddamn fucking current.
You're the host!
Barely. According to the website, Ryan's the host.
You broke the
I'm not
cross.
even on the show on the website.
Jesus
you
fucking
can't be
Christ.
mad.
It's
I don't
broken.
exist.
He has been released. The arm cross is broken.
Oh, we have fun.
Mr. Burns, welcome. God, you're evil.
Do I have a Monty Burns laugh?
No,
or is
you're
this-
just Mr. Burns of this podcast.
Where's my ether?
Wow.
What are we
So.
playing, guys?
Cool story.
What are we playing?
This is called dead air. This is what we should be
This is pretty
avoiding.
bad.
This episode should just be called.
Dead air.
Well, I
The chase scene
played-
story.
I love that Mike's just fired off. I play.
I was playing the new Chibi Robo game.
That robot's so.
How do you
fucking
feel?
cute.
How do you
Amiibo
feel
is
about
really
the new
fucking
Chibi
cute.
Robo? When's the last time there was a Chibi Robo game?
I
feel like it's been a while.
There was like
Oh, all right.
like a DLC one, but it was actually pretty small.
A DLC one, so it was just a release for a different game.
It was like it was a
If it's its
3DS
own
title.
game, it's not DLC.
Sorry, it was
Come
a-
on,
I mean,
your terminology, Mike.
It's content that
Go
I downloaded.
pre-order
Orby
stuff.
is aggressive, Orby, tonight.
No, it was an eShop game where you were like explored little areas and then like took photos of real life objects to put in a museum.
Okay.
It was all right, and this one is a whip based platformer, and the platforming is really tight, and I like it. There are some really dumb choices in there, like
How do you mean?
all right, when you beat a stage,
Like player choices or like design choices?
design
Okay.
choices. So there's like 6 worlds. There's 6 levels in each world, and you start at world
It's
1.
36 if you're keeping track.
Yeah, there you go. You start at world 1, and when you beat world 1, there's a spinner comes up, and there's like numbers on there, and it chooses and basically where the spinner lands is how many spaces you go forward in levels. So like if you
Oh, that is weird.
yeah,
So
and
you just skip stuff sometimes?
no. If you go past a level,
Okay.
you need to basically get through the other levels and hit the spinner right to return to that level, because you can only beat the boss after you've beaten all 6 levels in a world. And if you land on a level you've already beaten, you have to replay the level in order to get another chance at the spinner to get back to get to the world you haven't or level you haven't beaten yet.
Yeah, that just sounds convoluted.
It's very convoluted. There are like replay bonuses to going through the levels again. You can rescue these little aliens and get like codes that you. It's actually kind of neat the way they made this collaborative. You get like parts of codes that you like share with other players, so you can unlock new costumes for Chibi Robo.
Okay. But you need other players to do that?
Yes, you do.
And how many people do you know that play?
I mean, you can just do it.
Oh, it's just online?
Yeah.
You can do. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like you actually like have to know people that are playing.
No, I don't think you do. But yeah, you need to. Just this way, you have to get through all the levels and replay stuff, and can't really choose something until you've beaten an entire world is pretty tedious. And
but the gameplay itself is solid.
The gameplay itself is very solid.
Okay. So
yeah.
as a Chibi Robo fan, where does this rank in your realm of Chibi Robo games?
You know, the first one is still the best. Because
they've never improved on the perfection.
Well, it's the first one. You play a Chibi Robo. You're basically taking care of this family. Like, you're running around their house, cleaning things up, and like basically exploring new areas and like finding stuff. And
sounds like a thrill ride.
I like games where you're tiny in a giant world.
Okay.
So like Chibi Robo, like the beginning stages of Katamari Damacy, where like
right.
you're getting, you start out really small, then you get pretty big. Those are great for me. Pikmin, where you've got like, just giant stuff around you, and you have to use these tiny little Pikmin to pick them up. That's really fun for me. And the first Chibi Robo is like, okay, well, I'm like 2 inches, 3 inches tall. How the fuck am I going to get upstairs? And there's platforming involved in that. It's a 3D game,
right?
I really liked it. There's a lot of like sandbox exploration, but like inside a single house, which is still massive because you were 3 inches tall. But they've never really. They did one for the DS called Park Patrol, where you're kind of doing that in a park, but it's the environments aren't as varied as they are in the house. And that's more like a little sandbox kind of building game, which is okay. And this it's a pretty good game, Chibi Robo Ziplash, but I just really wish they'd like, I don't know, fucking.
Well, yeah. What are you looking for in a new Chibi Robo?
Chibi Robo
tiny
in a space
platformy
station or something like.
You want Chibi Robos to go to space? I feel like you're always offended
he
when
starts
things go
in
to
space. He's like cleaning a fucking satellite. Then they're like, "Oh, these aliens are on Earth, like stealing all our snacks and messing shit up. We should go down there and."
I'd want to stop that too.
I mean, yeah, but it's just like, what was Chibi Robo doing on that satellite? I want to learn about that.
So a prequel.
Yeah.
So so moving on from Chibi Robo though, have you been playing much Splatoon, and how do you feel about the upcoming changes?
I played a little bit of Splatoon over the weekend because they did a Splatfest. I am very.
What is a Splatfest? Yeah, you got to share.
Splatfest is a day where basically they ask you to choose a side. This time was like, what do you like better, cars or planes? And you pick your side, and you get a special T-shirt, and you basically fight for the weekend for that side. And
does it show like global stats for the sides and stuff?
At the end, it does.
Okay.
And there are prizes. So basically,
so do you only get paired with people on your side?
Yes.
And okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And it's turf war.
Sure.
So you basically start out as like the lowest rank of your type of for your side. I think you start out as a car fan, then you're a car fiend, car defender, car champion, and then car king. And you gotta fight a bunch if you want to.
It's not car monarch. It's car king. That sounds pretty sexist.
Yeah, I think you can be car queen too.
Oh, okay.
Good. And the reward is super sea snails. And
what the hell is that?
All right, so super sea snails you can use
Are they
to
sold
add
down
extra
by the
slots to
seashore?
your armor.
Okay.
Or to your gear, and if you have a full set a gear with like all 3 subs full, you can basically use a super sea snail to re-roll. So basically, super snails give you a lot of options for customizing your gear.
Sure.
Otherwise, they cost $30,000.
That's out of control. That
Yeah,
seems too. I don't think I'd buy a snail for that much.
Right. Yeah. Why would you? So
I mean, super or not,
so
that's
you
a
can
lot
get
of money.
You can get a bunch during Splatfest, and you can get basically if you have you get a number of snails depending on your rank, and then if your team wins, you get like 1.5 times that.
Right.
So
So from what I saw, I've only played a few times myself. I enjoyed it, but I didn't get super into it. So the roller splash
yes,
is getting knocked down, and then the blaster, which I think is kind of like the long range rifle.
no, it's more like a rocket launcher.
Oh, okay. But it looks like on a direct hit now it'll still take someone out, but on a non-direct, like even on a glancing blow, like it does way less damage than it used to.
And honestly, I'm very excited about those. I will admit I don't play with either of those weapons. I'm more excited about the roller one because there's some people that hate the roller. I don't hate the roller in concept.
Well, it seemed like even with the flick, it was generally a one-hit kill, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That I don't like. Now, roller as like a super short range, super powerful weapon that puts down a lot of ink, fine. But you don't get a ranged attack that's like just as powerful if you have all that shit. And with the blaster, I can't tell you how many times I've been splatted by someone who got a glancing blow on me. It's just like, that barely hit me. So... no, I'm excited for the changes. I want to be able to engage rollers at range without them being able to do the same to me because you're a short range type of weapon.
Sure.
And if you roll over me with your roller,
You're done.
Fine.
Yeah.
I get it because you got in close. I let my guard down. Fine. But you shouldn't be able to outrange me with a roller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems insane.
Yeah, right? Thank you, Ryan.
That is right.
That's like game
Nerfs-
balance.
nerfs are
that's game
important.
balance 101, man.
Yeah. Speaking of
nerfs.
yeah, I figured we had to
you
go
wanna-
right into that.
You want to get that?
The herf nerf.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
herf nerf. Yeah.
So I guess you guys don't play Hearthstone, but one of the most notorious cards and thusly notorious decks in the meta game right now is getting destroyed because the card that activates all those shenanigans, the Warsong Commander, that gives all these minions charge, is getting completely changed. So the way it worked is that any minion small enough, the Warsong Commander would give charge and it can attack the turn it comes out. But the warrior has one card that gets buffed by the more minions that get damaged, and then there's another card that's neutral that the Grim Patron, that every time it takes damage, it multiplies. So the lore of it is like he's a dwarf in a bar, and if you hit him and he's still up, he's going to call in all his buddies. So, and warriors have lots of stuff that damages their own guys and whirlwind effects and stuff. So basically in one turn you could, with the right setup, and so long as they didn't pressure you hard enough, which is difficult to do with the class because they get a bunch of armor, you could more often than not 1 or 2 turn kill someone just outright, and they had no response to it.
It is a really obnoxious deck to play against.
It was an obnoxious deck. I feel like the higher end players that were on the ladder were starting to learn around it. But
yeah, I mean,
even
you could definitely play around it. But I mean, like I was listening to a couple people talk about this and watching a couple videos. If you listen to them, like how much of the meta was just built around being able to counter patron decks, like it's insane. Like,
sure.
Most of the meta is just kind of revolves around this deck exists and it's kind of ridiculous, so you need to be able to deal with it.
That's true to an extent. I can agree with that. I don't think it was as dramatic as a lot of people make it out to be, but I think more so than just the current deck. It's cool that it relieves a lot of pressure on them in future design.
Yeah,
because because every 3 attack monster or lower they ever make from future expansions would be prone to shenanigans with this card.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know. Did you read any of the stuff that Ben Broad, one of their game designers, did an interview or not an interview, but like a video kind of talking about some of the reasoning and stuff? I don't know if you watched that.
I did not watch that. I mean, I know their usual reasoning is like they want constant battles for board to control to determine games and stuff like that, and that's why things like the Savage Roar combo feels more accurate to that, because Druid's just constantly trying to keep a monster on the board to keep you pressured.
Right.
And then
definitely.
if you can't clear that, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah. But it's interesting just kind of thinking about, I think you hit on one of the reasons is that, they had this deck that was causing problems, but there are any number of cards you could have hit. You could have hit Frothing Berserker, which is the one that gains attack the more minions take damage.
Right.
The Patron that kind of splits. You could have hit anything, but they hit the Commander. I think
it
opens up a lot of design space. But he actually said that Dread Charger or Dreadsteed, whatever the Warlock 1/1 is.
1/1.
So they added a card in the most recent patch for Warlocks that's 1 health, 1 damage. when it dies, it spawns itself again. So essentially, it never really dies unless it gets silenced or something.
Yeah, okay.
It was originally a Naxxramas common that was a neutral card,
right?
But they couldn't do it because of Warsong Commander, and you just machine gun the enemy.
You could just clear just one damage until the whole board's cleared, and then you can't
because it would have charge every time it got
ridiculous.
resummoned.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in the world of Hearthstone. So some people are arguing that that's going to give things like Secret Paladin too much power now because Patron was one of the big counters to that.
I mean, it's going to shift the meta for sure.
Yeah, sure.
And that's
I'm for it.
That's just how it goes.
Because the last several big tournaments have just been 3 decks. It's been Patron, Handlock, Druid. That's it. I mean, there's been some variation on that, but
it's probably actually one of the biggest meta
it's-
shifts there's been in a while, especially outside of an expansion launching.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with Grand Tournament. Unfortunately, it didn't change too much as far as I'm concerned. Like there were a few new deck archetypes
because Patron.
Yeah.
Well, like the thing was, if you look at deck lists online, I saw a couple like around the time TGT shipped that were like the best post TGT Warrior deck, and it was just Patron.
Sure.
So.
No question. But that said, I did like the deck because it was a high skill cap deck. Like
Definitely.
you can't just mindlessly throw cards down in that deck; you're gonna lose.
Yeah. And
Like you have 4 major threats, and the rest is you're trying to control the enemy and keep them on their toes and dig through your deck.
Yeah. And I think theoretically, like Patron decks are still feasible. Like I've seen people playing them on ladder.
No, I mean it was
without
it was just
Commander.
really obvious with Warrior and as that combo. So and
Yeah.
even, it was funny because it even took a while for them to come out because I remember I saw that card and I was like, man, that's someone's gonna destroy someone with that. And it was a couple or 3 months before someone was like, oh man, turns out we can destroy with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be cool, and it's cool that it's happening right before Worlds because now, like I think. It's cool because I have mixed feelings about the Conquest tournament type right now, but I think it'll be exciting to actually see some players do some real deck building.
Yeah.
And now,
especially they don't have 4 months to see how the meta.
right? I mean,
pans
it might
out.
just change to Control Warrior instead of Patron, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of people probably don't play Hearthstone, so
Yeah.
if you do play Hearthstone, that was your segment. If you don't, we're gonna move on.
Speaking of nerfs, guys, there's been a big one to Destiny.
Ooh, let's talk about Destiny.
It's not really a nerf. It's actually a kind of an exploit or a glitch.
Oh,
the,
exploities.
the Night Stalker thing.
What's the new Destiny exploity?
Basically, there's a class for
Is
the
it another
hunter
cave?
called this. It's the Night Stalker, and they shoot like a bow.
Ah.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore, and it's like this void-based bow that. And if you equip, there's like one perk that gives you 3 shots, and one kind of helmet that gives you this thing, which is just supposed to let you tumble, like you basically get a dodge move.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people found out that if you shoot 2 of the shots and then pause the game, like bring up your menu and go away, it resets your super, so you can do it forever.
Okay.
It broke the PvP to a point where that they actually pushed back an upcoming event that was going to be pretty big
To deal with that?
to deal with this
Oh,
because
man.
there's no way that they could. The event is based on you have to get 9 wins in a row, and if you're on like a streak and you deal with one of these fuckers who just endlessly shoots their super at you,
that sucks.
it wrecks your whole game. So they were like, we're not going to do it. But we are. They brought up the release of the hard mode version of the raid, which a lot of people clamor for pretty much
cool.
after the minute the regular version of the raid's done.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's any.
You got to get
Yeah.
the high end
game.
players, right?
yeah, so now we got this hard mode coming out. I think it's next Friday.
Yeah.
And then
The day after this launches.
yes, yeah, exactly. And then that's pretty much it. Iron Banner's up now, but that won't be up next week.
Right.
So but that's fun. It's like this. Basically, normally you get reputation for whatever faction if you win or lose. It's just like thanks for playing.
What if you draw?
But, it doesn't matter. You get stuff no matter win, lose, or draw. But then there's Iron Banner. You have to win in order to progress in rank to get all the best items. Now there's bounties that help you do that, like do this X amount of things in this amount of matches, and you get stuff. But it's pretty neat, and so that's what everybody's clamoring for because Adam and I are both going for the top tier gun, which is rank 5, which is the cap, and takes fucking forever.
Why
to
would
get
you
to
go
it.
for anything less?
Exactly.
It just seems like a waste.
It's a pulse rifle with perfect stability. It's going to be a monster.
Yeah, like Pulse Rifle
Oh
5
yeah,
3
that
quick
sounds
bursts. and,
crazy.
Yeah, it's.
The stability on pulse rifles, man, that's
I
rough.
mean, it's
but
always been the problem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
really.
So
That's been the
see, we
thing
didn't say
holding
a word
pulse
when they're
rifles
talking
back.
about their fucking wizards and shit. But no, the minute we bring up pulse rifles, it's all
Dude,
downhill.
I'm with you.
No, we're done. We're done, Destiny. I know that one fan wanted more Destiny talk. I'm sorry, sir. No Destiny talk for
Is
you.
that Tyjack?
No, it was not Tyjet. Was it Tyjet or was the other dude, Jeremy?
Actually, it might have been TIE Jet.
Well. Oh, it might
Dude,
have been
just be careful in case they know if you're Pulse Jet Commander or Pulse Rifle Commander.
Well,
Yeah,
might get real.
have you been up to anything other than Destiny, Hugh?
Have I?
Any new games?
I just kept playing the 2 games that I played last time.
Yeah.
And they're
just,
still
just stuck with them.
Yeah, they're
still solid.
They're really good. I enjoy them quite a bit.
Right.
Actually, I played a little bit more Starbound. They just did a reset that basically wiped all the worlds, but let you keep all of your character stuff, which is pretty sweet. So, I've been playing that. There's a whole lot more unique monsters. Weapons are like balanced now. I actually have a Force Lightning weapon.
Was that good?
Starbound? I love it. It's
that was
great.
like Terraria in space, right?
Yeah, but with like an infinite number of worlds, and each world has like a different difficulty level and different like complete temperate zones. Like you could have an ocean-based planet that's just you land and you just sink for like a straight 30 seconds, and then you finally get to the bottom, and there's like this whole ocean-based world.
All right,
it's pretty sweet. I really like it. It's and you can upgrade your ship. There's this outpost where you get missions from. It's really badass.
Should we do a little MAGCast Starbound action?
Oh,
that could be cool.
MCSB.
My God.
Oh man, that'd be fun. It's if we have to you have to set up a server, but other than that, yeah, I mean, you do that all the time. You set up servers left and right. Hey,
always setting up servers.
But yeah, I mean, we could all have different. There's 5 different races, or maybe 6 different races, and you can just pick one and fucking roll. That's a great game. It really is.
If you'd be interested in playing on a MAGCast Starbound server, send us an email at podcast@magfest.org.
I'll tell you what, we
God.
started talking about something last week, and I did the math wrong. So this is actually going to be the closest episode to Halloween.
Oh, you're right.
Man.
It will.
And we're going to break up the emails a little bit because I'm going to read the first email, and it's going to start a segment, in my opinion. And that's going to be, I want to talk about the games.
Do that? Oh, okay.
I want to talk about the games that freaked you out the most as a kid growing up.
Okay, I like that. That's
Mike
cool.
had asked last time for people to send emails, something in a game that kind of wigged you out or freaked you out a little bit. We did get a response from that. It was from MAGCast's very own superfan, Christian Mara.
Seymour.
He
wow,
says,
that actually put a smile on Mike TV's face.
Like
I want you to know
Christian's
that, Christian.
a super good dude.
I know he is, but it's just,
I have to be some kind of monster not to like Christian.
So Christian says the email's called Spooky.
All right.
And it says,
did it have more O's than race or super racist had?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
He says it's tempting to list the standard scary parts of games like Ocarina of Time's Dead Hands, the moon from Majora's Mask, the entirety of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I agree with that one. That game's scary as fuck. But everyone finds those scary. The thing from gaming that to this day gives me the Ghiblies is Andros from Star Fox 64.
Really?
Apart from being a giant disembodied monkey head covered in wrinkles and liver spots with an open mouth that's like staring into the abyss, that green fog surrounding means room you fight. He must have been tired. Means the room you fight him in takes place in what has to be another dimension. And that when you do beat him, it gets even more freaky. He either becomes a fucked up robot that's jerking around like it's having a seizure, or a disembodied brain that warps you to yet another dimension, where the scenery never grows or shrinks regardless of its relation to your position. Andros, man. That shit's fucked up.
You know, he doesn't mention that in the Andros fight where you were fighting his brain, his eyeballs are like on 2 electric tethers connected to the brain.
Gross. Whoa.
So you basically have to like dodge them and try and destroy them, and then you actually have to like
shoot his.
You have, like the brain
his
stem.
brain,
yeah, like get around the back of him and shoot that.
And then trying to get out of there is like so panic inducing.
Yeah, that's like really, it gets like really claustrophobic because it's like all the explosions are like happening.
Fox
right
is
around
hallucinating and shit.
Yeah,
like,
your dead dad's there.
Yeah, no, that's real.
So
real.
I want this to spark a conversation, being so this is going to be the Halloween episode, I guess you could say.
Sure, it's spoopy.
Sure.
Let's everybody go around. We'll go around the room and we'll name either the one thing from a game or the one game that really fucking freaked you out. It could be as new as a current release, or it could be as old as you want it to be. I'll start.
Do it.
The game that freaked me out, probably about 10 years ago now, or close to it, was Fatal Frame 2: Crimson Butterfly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That game's terrifying.
I wanted to play it so bad, but I couldn't bring myself to play it. And I've experienced this with Huey once before, is that I don't want to play the game, but I really want to watch it be played.
Yeah.
So I actually bought that game for a friend of mine under the terms of he wasn't allowed to play it unless I was in the room. And he agreed. And I got to watch the game through its completion, but that game was terrifying. To this day, like, seeing screenshots from Fatal Frame brings back, like, shivers almost. That game fucking freaked me out, man. Even the pause menu is evil. Like, you pause it to get away from the crazy shit, and then if you leave it on pause for, like, 15 seconds, a face appears. It's like, fuck you,
wow.
game. fuck you directly the fuck off.
They knew what they were doing.
Did you?
They knew that you would do that. And you'd get like the oh crap pause and then
Goddamn if it
clever.
didn't work. I'll tell you what, PT scared the shit out of me, too.
PT was a great trailer.
And they canceled it.
Really quickly, I'm not going to get too far into it. I am very happy about PT's spiritual successor, Allison Road. The Kickstarter was canceled, and that's only because Team 17 picked it up.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I can't wait to watch somebody play that game.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of.
I have a feeling me, Huey, and our friend Andy Gosson are going to have a weekend where the three of us force each other to take turns playing that game.
I was going to bring up another point. I'll bring him up at another whenever I get to it.
So mine's Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly.
Real quick
Ryan,
before we move on, have you heard they're doing a Fatal Frame for the Wii U?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Way to make your house horrifying.
Like, you're probably just gonna be wandering around like
With
whatever,
a
abandoned
tablet,
temple.
totally,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, you're wandering around like an abandoned temple. Then the tablet's gonna be your camera. Then you're
Well,
just
yeah.
like everything looks normal. And you hold up your tablet to the screen and like terrifying face right there.
Fuck that. I'll watch somebody play it. I ain't playing that. Ryan, what about you? What do you got?
So just to clarify, are we talking like scary
No, like,
content or
whatever-
scary?
Scary.
Whatever got in
Period.
your head.
Scary, period. It could be
man.
content, it could
Okay.
be game, it could be scene, it could be character, it could be whatever you
Could
want.
be
It.
titled.
So I think this
Games of scary words out there, man.
might be a little unorthodox.
No, by all means, mine's gonna be weird too.
I think it's gonna be off the top of my head, hardcore Diablo 3.
Ooh.
That is terrifying to me because
Ooh,
I
like it.
am like the thought of losing a character that I've put hours into.
How many
is
characters have you lost, Ryan?
0.
Well, see, that's the problem.
oh man,
That's the problem, Ryan.
Yeah, I haven't
As soon
lost
as you-
one
as
yet.
soon- as
so
soon as you
I
learn,
like
as soon as you learn how easy it is, that you just have to shrug it off and re-roll.
right.
that's
That's
a
moving
really
on.
good answer because
I think
it's like mortality is
Yeah.
That's not like a fear for your safety kind of thing. That's like a suspense kind of fear.
And
Oh no,
I can
there's
appreciate that.
times
I think
when your
in the-
screen's red and there's still a
Yeah.
healthy blue pack
When,
around.
when you're slamming your health potion button and it ain't doing anything because it's on cooldown, or it's like 2 seconds off cooldown and you see that missile coming, you're like shit. It's pretty terrible. And I think in the same vein, the other one I would say is like I think XCOM when you get into the later missions and it's just like your sniper takes a bullet and it's just
Oh man, yeah.
GG.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Orvie, what do you got?
So I mean, my like Christian said, like my obvious one is gonna be like Silent Hill. It was scary. It was creepy, and it's such a great game. Specifically, like it's weird because two is the best game, but there were like parts in 3 that I don't know if it was because it was more modern and like looked better and kind of held that creepiness some more. It had some really good. Oh man, there's some scenery in that one, and then there's like some weird just like literature and logs and like weird poems and stuff around that you'd read, and it's just creepy. There's like one about this guy that's like it's a poem about him like making out with his girlfriend, but then he just starts eating her face. Yeah, because like no, it starts out like just talking like, oh, her lips are so luscious, blah blah blah, and then halfway through the poem you realize that he's actually just eating her. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, you can't play Silent Hill because of the kids, right?
Yeah, but that
was the first one.
It's for the kids.
But for a little kid moment for me, I've got a good one. Is and it's weird because it's not a good game, but so in first person shooters, have you ever like just like gotten super into the game where like for instance like in Metroid Prime, I remember like being down in like the Magmore zone and just like feeling hot, and like once I got to the surface, and like you get like the like frost on your
Like you're
visor
been
and stuff,
drawn
I
or
like
something,
actually
yeah.
felt relieved
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I had
like,
that with
overheated.
Minecraft after
Sure.
mining for
yeah,
a while.
like being
Yeah.
down in the tunnels, so, and you kind of like get that. Suddenly, you just kind of like want to get up and walk around and be like, okay, I'm not like in the tunnel. That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
So back on Super Nintendo, the Jurassic Park game.
Oh
Yep. Okay.
I was playing with my friend, and it was like, it's like old, 11-year-old sleepover time. So you're up
Right.
like at 1 or 2 a.m., like way past bedtime, trying to be quiet so you don't get yelled at by your friend's dad, who's a giant scary man.
Right.
And we're playing, and we get to the stage where you have to go into the bunker because it's like a top-down Jurassic Park game, but it has first-person zones where you'll go into like an old shitty building full of dinosaurs. And there's this one spot where we had to go in and like kill all the raptor eggs. We had to go into a raptor nest and like destroy all the eggs and get out of there. And it's like we weren't good at first-person shooters back then, and it's like not even really a first-person shooter. It's like kind of weird. Like it was probably like 8 or 16 directional at best,
Okay.
and like you're just roaming around through these tunnels, like space by space, probably by like 90 degrees or 45-degree angles.
Right.
And we just got lost in there, and we couldn't find it out. And like we probably spent like 45 minutes in there, and every so often just a fucking raptor on screen. We're just like, fuck! Ah! Ah! Oh, God. All right. And then it's like another 10 minutes of roaming around, and you think the space is clear, and then just raptors. So like the rest of that night is just raptor phobia.
Yeah.
We never got out. We turned the game off, and because of that, we had no closure. Our guy just died in a tunnel of like bunker full of raptors.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
that was
That is
traumatic for
nightmare
me.
fuel.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that as a child. I feel like if we had gotten out and been in the jungle before we turned the game off, but we were like tired and we knew we were running in circles and we were tired of getting just. It might have been a crappy game where you couldn't clear the level, and sometimes raptors just respawn once you get back to the same space, probably. But
I'm thinking we
Man.
have an episode one time where we all play the game that we mentioned today.
oh yeah, and it's probably gonna be
Like Orvy's got to play through
Oh,
SNES
God.
Jurassic Park.
That's-
I have to
that's-
play through Fatal
that's
Frame.
such a
This
bad
is the
game,
worst
though.
idea I've ever had.
I shouldn't have. All right, that's not fair. I didn't know I would have to play the crappy game I saw. Yeah. Anyways, that game freaked little child Orvy out for a night or two. I always got really empathetic for my characters. Like even like the ending of like Echo the Dolphin made me upset when he like gets trapped in time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where you just ping the time machine and then it's just like and like the little scroll comes up and it's like and he's lost in time forever. I was like, fuck. I like went through all that.
those are fucking downer
No,
endings.
no,
It's
it
like-
was. I was like, shit, he doesn't get to go back to all his dolphin friends and like all the cool people he
Yeah.
saved like at the beginning.
It's like,
And
no, you're just
Spoilers.
yeah,
Great.
I was sad about that.
Yeah.
That made me sad for a while.
done. Yeah,
Anyways,
those will get you.
there we go.
What do you got
What do you
here?
got, Hugh?
What made the
He's
delightful,
a Dead Space guy.
No,
bright
No?
sunshine?
I'll tell you this. It's actually hard for me to get scared at video games because I fully anticipate everything. So most of the time,
Oh, you fully anticipate everything?
everything right now. Dude,
Wow.
Put your penis.
What
away.
am I thinking?
But
No, that's
The,
that's like when Mike talks about how he gets really good at RPG games. It's like, yeah, that's expected.
it's just it's basically like there's all the games that scared me when I was younger. Like remember Andy Gossin? I played
Yeah.
Dead Space with Andy Gossin and Dan Blair, and they shrieked constantly, and they'd hand me the controller whenever there was like, I can't beat this, I got, and I was like, all right, and I beat it, and then they were like, let me play again, and that's how the entire game was beaten. So
Okay.
they handed the controller to me whenever they got scared, and I just wouldn't get scared at these games. At least that game, I love that game though; it's so good. But
True.
So
the,
you are a Dead Space guy. I was accurate
love
on
Dead
that.
Space. I
You
love
just
Dead
it just
Space.
wasn't a
That-
scary
that-
game
that
for
is
you.
that's the story I was going to tell about that. But the games that scared me when I was a kid, one game disturbed me, and it wasn't. I still have never played it all the way to completion, and it's Blaster Master.
Ooh, that's
That's
a
a
good one.
great game.
The creatures
No,
in that
no,
game
the bosses were nasty in
are
there.
That's true.
nightmarish, and I was like, "This is." It's
And you're
like
just
his
a
pets.
little kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the pets that like got mutated. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"This is terrifying." I'm never going in my backyard again. That's why I stay inside to this day
Yeah.
because of Blaster
because
Master.
because if Blaster Master taught you anything, is that sometimes your frog might escape, jump down a hole that appears in your backyard, and stumble across nuclear waste next to a tank.
Dude, that game is terrifying.
But
for-
you get a tank.
You do get a tank.
You do get a tank.
I
I did
did-
want that tank. Oh man, that
played
was
the
one of
shitty
the first Beat
PlayStation
Sprites
1
I ever made.
sequels.
Was
Yeah.
Sophia.
I played one of the shitty first PlayStation 1 sequel, which was Blaster Master 2. Blasting again.
That was pretty good, I thought.
It didn't
Blaster
scare
Master,
me. So I
Blaster
guess I
Master
was let
2 was
down.
Genesis.
No, there's a Blaster. Was it?
Yeah, no, there's
Then it must be
there was a
3.
sequel. There was a sequel on PS1.
Yeah. It's called Blaster Master Blasting Again, and I bought it because somebody assured me it was going to be a collector's item, and then I sold it. So,
Did they ever make a prequel and call it Blast from the Past?
no.
That's,
from the Past.
that's just a missed opportunity.
But the game that actually...
Did you ever have the Nerf gun that was actually the
No.
Master Blaster?
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was. Do you remember the old orange Nerf gun that just shot the balls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the upgrade of that. It was double barreled
bazooka?
and it would fire a ball on both the pullback and the push forward.
Oh, man.
So you could rapid fire that bad boy, but it only shot 8 balls, so it was quick.
And you could argue with Tina Turner if you screamed into it. But the
There
game
we
that
go.
actually scared me, and I
Blaster Town.
bought a town. Oh, God. Anyway, the game that actually scared me to the point where I put down the controller and quit the game is actually one of my favorite games ever, which is Resident Evil 1.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, at first, it had that old shitty like live action intro where the dogs like ate that dude, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy Christ, this is scary as shit! I can't wait to play this game." I walk in the door, I save it at the ink ribbon, I go to the right door, dogs come blasting through the window, and I shit myself. Not literally.
Oh, man.
Dude,
That would
I
make the
was-
story so much better.
I was like, I threw the controller at the TV. It was great. It was okay though because it was those old thick glass TVs that they.
Yeah,
could,
no,
like,
you're
go
more
diving
likely
in.
you're more likely to break the controller than the screen.
I
on
fucking
those.
ran out of the room. I was like, nope, no. I was scared to go back and look into the room. That's how terrible. My dude was long since dead. I just left him there. Dogs come blast. He's like, fuck you, man, I'm out. That's how Brad Vickers felt, the helicopter pilot.
Jesus.
Dude,
Christ, dude.
man, that scared me so bad. And also, like, that whole game has this atmosphere of, like, this cool old... That's why it's my favorite. It just feels like this haunted mansion full of zombies in the woods, and there's horrible things that are happening there constantly. So it really feels like this really weird horror movie to me, like that, like the journal entry, where
Sure.
it's like the guy
Itchy
turning into
Tasty.
zombies over.
Itchy
Itchy
Tasty.
Tasty is how it ends. That is incredible. Like the one just before that, where he's like, woke up feeling strange. Like it's all like jagged and shit, and he's like, Hank came in, had ugly face, so killed him. Itchy, tasty, doggy meat. And he's just like saying this crazy shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's scary. That game was scary as shit.
Have you ever played the remake they did for GameCube?
I have a remake for PS4.
That might be probably based on it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good.
I have the remake for
It's
for
really
GameCube.
good. I mean, they added a ton of stuff in there, like the girl they first did experiments on with the T virus, who now is just fucking indestructible.
Oh Jesus!
And so you just run.
well,
You
that's,
inocular. Crimson Heads. Fucking Crimson Heads.
well, that's
God
like the
damn
same
it.
thing as what was it? When you played the new Game Plus version of Resident Evil 2, that guy named Mr. Big
Yeah.
Yeah.
would show up, and you couldn't kill him. You could
Yeah.
stop him temporarily, and then he'd just be back up and following you again. Like you could get ammo
Yeah,
off of him.
except this is like a little girl that's now like a fucking hunchback Cronenberg creature.
Great.
And then there's the Crimson Heads. If you do not like headshot a zombie, you need to get some gas, of which you can only carry a limited quantity, and a lighter. And you need to set them on fire, or else they will come back
Yep.
up as a Crimson Head, which is a faster, stronger zombie. They rush you.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, little me would not have been able to handle that.
So a friend of mine, we were playing this back in college, and he was in the Itchy Tasty room, and
Yeah, I do.
you know, he was just like looking around, and he's like reading the journal, and like I think you read the journal in real time in that
Yeah.
game, and it's
Yeah.
just like, dude, get the fuck out of that room. Get the fuck out of the room. That guy's gonna come back to life. You are trapped, and it's going to be trapped in this little room with this ravenous zombie. He's like, all right, I'm leaving now. Just fucking murders him right there because he can't run anywhere. He's boxed in a little corner. This zombie's clawing him. And he's desperately trying to shoot him with the shitty, weird controls that in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It's done. Just like, no, just
If you
get out of
pressed
the
up
room.
and down, you could walk, and then if you pressed left and right, you could
know.
pivot. It was great.
Oh man, those were the days. Simple.
All right, Mike. Well, we're
Elegant.
down to you. What do you got?
All right. Well, I mentioned Silent Hill last time we did this. I put a little bit more thought into it. So Zombie U recently, in the last few years, is the one that really
Yep.
kind of got under my
Oh,
skin.
I played that with you at your house. That was a good.
Did you? Yeah, it's
when Wii U first came out.
Now, you
yeah,
actually-
it's
If you die in that, you actually have to fight your previous character. Is that what I?
Yeah,
It's
to
to
get your stuff back.
That's cool.
you also lose all your skills.
Mm.
You're just you're
Because
dead.
you're just like a new dude. No, new.
Yeah,
you're a
it's just
completely new
another
person.
person.
No paying
Yeah.
the bills.
Yeah, and you are it's tough. Like it's easy to die in that game. Like you can get hit by a zombie like 3 times and then they just bite you. and
Well,
you're done.
accurate. Yeah. Done.
And you need to if you're going to get into your backpack, you can't actually pause the game to do that. You basically have to look down at the gamepad and be like, "All right, shit. Where's my gun? There's my gun. Okay." And then you're looking up, just like, "All right, am I good? Am I good?"
That's cool.
Pe-
That's
people online can't tell, but I'm raising my head up and down. Quite
comedic.
yeah. And I remember coming home one day. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna play some Zombie U. And then 3 hours later, I'm just like, why did I think this was relaxing? Oh God.
Yeah.
And going off what Orvie said, like the games like when you're little that made you feel really stressed. Super Mario World, there was a couple ghost houses that did that to me.
Oh man.
Because there's the ghosts everywhere, and the boos aren't particularly scary.
No. But the ghost houses were puzzle levels. They weren't
Yeah.
platforming levels.
And I couldn't. There was a couple of them I just couldn't figure out.
So you're just
so-
walking. Like after a while, you just get in your head and like you're just doing this over and over.
Yeah,
again.
and it's like,
you
just
feel
let me
trapped.
out.
Yeah, you feel
want to
trapped.
leave. Get me out of here. Yeah, those just got under my skin after a while, and then I think I would occasionally get nightmares about Castlevania, Castlevania 64, which I played more than I should.
64.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I'd have
Wow.
nightmares about that game too.
I know, right?
by being in a room and forced to play it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God. I'll tell you guys a story about Magical Nitro here in a minute.
It's okay. I played the PS2 Castlevania more than I should have.
Lament of Innocence isn't
Which one?
terrible.
I'm
They're not. Both of them are. Curse
Curse of Darkness is incredible.
It's
I love
really
that
good.
game.
trying to think of which
It
one
Must
it
have been
was.
Lament of
But no,
Innocence.
I had
think that,
nightmares
yes.
about being stuck in like
They all
the
have such
garden maze.
Just they're
of
all
Castlevania
just silly
64.
surnames.
I had dreams about like being attacked by topiaries in Castlevania. No, the thing. Well, if you want to talk about just things I fucking hate, in Castlevania 64, there's a point where you need to take magical nitro from the top of a tower down to the bottom of a tower.
Oh yeah.
To fight a boss. And I always played as Reinhardt because it felt more like traditional.
Yeah.
And the thing with magical nitro is if you get hit by an enemy, you explode and die. If you jump, you explode and die. If you get jostled, I guess, you explode and die. So it's easy to get up the tower, but on the way back down, you gotta be very evasive. You gotta make your way through these gears and dodge fireballs. And then at the very bottom, the last room before you get to where you gotta set the nitro, there are fucking skeletons on motorcycles that are fast as shit and just, they can run right up to you and boom, you explode. And I hated this part. And this is probably the third or fourth time I played the game through because, I got games at Christmas and if I was lucky, I got to rent a game during the year.
This is how it used to be, kids.
Yeah. Enjoy
you
it now.
You get a game for Christmas. You might get one for your birthday,
yep.
and then
You were
Blockbuster's
saving
it.
pennies,
Blockbuster.
motherfucker.
Yeah, Blockbuster was the shit.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, man, the game aisle.
So I get past the skeletons on motorcycles, which, by the way, fuck you, Dracula. Skeletons on motorcycles. What the fuck, dude? So I'm in the final room. There's no enemies. It's like a big arena where the boss is. You got to make your way to the opposite side, set the magical nitro. My brother comes up behind me and just right in my ear yells, "Jump!" and startles me so bad that my thumb reflexively goes to the jump button. And I hit it, and time just slows down as I watch Reinhardt jump into the air and back down, and fucking a half hour of my life wasted. And I will still like just start punching my brother in the arm if he ever reminds me of that. Because fuck you, Matt. That was not cool.
Oh man,
So
Matt's
fucking
getting punched in the arm
uncool.
next time Mike sees him.
God damn. He doesn't listen.
Well,
to this.
I think that's our spooky scaries.
My God. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were spooky.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah.
They were scary.
Pretty spooky.
There's skeletons
pretty
on
scary.
motorcycles. What's more spooky than that?
Oh man.
Well, I think if being so that was basically the response to an email, let's continue on the email train.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm gonna read these in a weird order. The next one had an attachment on it.
Ah,
This email.
a
okay.
very special guest.
Do you want to read the email first?
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's a good idea. This email comes from Mike's wife,
What's her name?
Vanjie,
Vanjie.
and it says
Mother of my child.
The title of the email
Canvas
says
of the paintbrush.
regarding the railgun, an open letter to the heroes of MAGCast.
I didn't know. She
I don't
said
trust
heroes.
this at all.
I trust this very little.
Oh man.
I trust it completely.
She goes on to say, "Hi guys, here's a little pre-recorded letter to the editor from me and Connor regarding comments made about Mike TV, the now infamous English is my first language. The now infamous railgun incident. Would love if you could play it live on the air." And I'll tell you what,
We're gonna
that's
do just
exactly what we're
None
going
of
to
us
do.
have heard it.
We actually haven't listened
not.
to this yet.
Yeah.
So-
none of
that.
us
So we're
know
either
what's
gonna
on
get
here.
ourselves in a lot of trouble, or maybe this will be fun.
Could be both.
I'm going with the former.
And
How
here we
long-
go.
How long
This-
is it?
How,
It
yeah,
is-
how-
A minute
it
and a
is
half, it's fine.
Just under 2 minutes. Yeah.
So this is Mike TV's lovely wife Vanjie and their son Connor.
Take
Go
it
ahead,
away,
Ryan.
Regarding the railgun. Dear Mike's friends, it has been brought to my attention that concerns were recently raised over my husband's failure to obtain a handcrafted electromagnetic projectile launcher at a yard sale that he visited a few months back.
True.
Apparently, by passing on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, he has caused all of you to suffer the devastating deprivation of not having an incredibly dangerous and possibly illegal weapon with which to jaunt about and fire various and sundry objects at one another's testicles. In
Also
answer
true.
to this grievous wrongdoing, I would just like to say, you are all fucking morons. Seriously, are you kidding me? A fucking railgun? In what universe did you geniuses think it would be a good idea for Mike to bring that monstrosity home to share the same space as his wife and baby? I mean,
Sounds perfectly
obviously,
reasonable.
if he had brought it home, I would have made him get rid of the damn thing immediately, but, and here's the part that I think you're all failing to grasp, I didn't need to tell him what to do in this case, because he is a responsible fucking adult who fucking knows better than to do anything that would potentially endanger his family.
Yes.
That's right, Connor. The fact that the rest of you do not seem capable of grasping
boy.
this most basic of concepts, I think, speaks more to your pathetic inadequacies as men than to any shortcomings on my husband's part. I sincerely hope that the next time the opportunity to obtain a railgun falls into your laps, you take it, and immediately use it to shoot off one another's reproductive bits that any future generations might be spared your collective idiocy. Best regards, assholes. Love, Vanjie.
All right.
You know, real quick, I just like.
I'm
to
glad
comment.
Mike got his wife to attack us. That's nice.
Real quick, I'd like
I
to bring up
did
that
not
Vanjie should
get-
record books on tape
Yeah, for sure.
because that was perfect.
I don't think we ever talked about shooting each other
No,
in the
sorry,
dicks.
Ryan. This is man with the machine gun. We need man with the railgun.
Oh crap! My bad.
I don't think. Did we ever mention shooting each other in the dick with that? Because
No,
I don't
that
think
never-
that was
that was
ever
never
even a
part of
thing.
No,
it.
we were
Shoot
going to shoot dicks
dildos.
out of it.
We were going to shoot dildos out of it, but not
Yeah.
each other in the dicks.
There's the lack of,
It would
the lack of
probably end
proper
with shooting each
information
other in
here.
the dick.
I mean, that's an assumption that you could make.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Why
I'm
would
not
you
letting
assume that?
anybody shoot anything at my dick. That's
Yeah,
just
I don't
not
know where
happening.
that came
I
from.
mean, shooting people in the dick is pretty fun.
She
I
can
mean,
project.
that's your thoughts, and she's
No,
calling
she
the
can-
people
she can-
fucking assholes and morons that think that that's a good thing. So that's one strike against you.
I mean,
She
I
can
think
project
it's
her
funny to
weird
shoot you guys
fantasies
in the
on us all she wants.
I'm
That's
just-
not our
nobody's
problem.
shooting anybody in the dick. I'd love to know where's the bibliography, Mike? You wanted a bibliography from me from some shit. I want to cite the references. I'd like to know episode
Also,
numbers and
notice
timestamps.
how typically we can't have a woman on the air without her attacking our genitals. This is just such typical patriarchy at work. I can't even deal with this.
Matriarchy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm sticking with it.
Either way,
I just enjoy the fact that you guys think I got Vanjie to attack you.
Well, I know
then-
she doesn't listen to
She's
the
no
show.
way she listens to the show.
She
so-
doesn't listen to this
Yeah,
garbage.
But then I go home and be like, oh, the idiots were complaining about that railgun I didn't bring home again. And she's just like, again, really, those idiots.
Well, it's been a solid, what,
Well,
4 or
I'm
5
sorry you're not a
episodes since we brought it
responsible
up.
enough adult to be
Hey,
trusted
no.
with a
No, no.
railgun.
No.
This is the
There's
problem
always-
with
The
you.
there's always
person who repeatedly brings it up is Steve,
That's right.
one of our
on
listeners.
Facebook, yeah.
He brings it up incessantly.
Yes.
He
Every
really,
moment you
he's,
comment on
he's,
something-
he's more disappointed about it than we are, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean,
So, Steve, you need to check your railgun privilege at the fucking door because Vanjie's done with it.
listen,
Yeah.
none of us.
You gotta-
I
you
can't
gotta-
believe you guys
gotta
let
use,
me
like,
hold
the
this
shitty,
cup.
check your
I am
privilege,
not
making
nearly
fun of
responsible
people,
enough to handle
using check
this
your
item.
privilege to make fun of people against my wife. Really?
Against your wife? Not
Your
using
wife
it
sta-
against
yeah,
Steve.
yeah, we are.
And
We're
your
bringing
wife
that
is
up.
the one that started giving us shit first.
She did throw down.
She threw
That
down.
wasn't just like a light cloth glove to the
No,
face.
she was aggressive. She used the
threw
word
a
fuck.
fucking rocket punch
Yeah,
at us.
she
Because we
used the
both
word
hate
fuck
you all.
there, I
That's
think,
what
more
we
than I've
bond
ever
over.
heard her say
I mean, that's fine.
anything.
You don't have to be here.
Yeah. You guys bitch when I'm not.
Yeah.
You told me
Because
you-
that's what
you-
we bond over.
You fucking told me I had to be here.
That's
this
because
week.
you
We're
gave
getting
people
some real
homework and
shit
they
worked out
responded.
here on
I
MAGCast.
didn't give
Yeah,
anyone
yeah, this
homework.
is how it's
You're
gonna go.
like
You very
well, my TV
specifically
This is what
gave
happens when you bring
homework.
wife
No, I
on.
tell people to stop riding my dick. Is that homework?
Nobody. Well, I mean, Vanjie does, but nobody else rides your dick.
Tyjet was kind of riding our dicks.
No, Tyjet was a fan, and he was telling us that he was a fan.
I can't.
That's-
All right.
He was riding dick.
Anybody who's,
Oh.
I mean, then in that case, you're the ultimate Nintendo dick rider.
Yeah, I'll ride that dick long and hard.
Then why are you complaining about other people doing the same thing?
Because I'm a fucking hypocrite, Adam.
Clear.
Guys.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Guys,
That's
it's
really
just
all.
our male inadequacies that are.
It's our
That's-
male
I mean,
inadequacies that have us.
I only
Yeah.
can
You gotta
pray
go-
to
you gotta
God
go- you
that
gotta
I
go
never
right-
reproduce.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's our small penises that are the problem
Yep.
with us wanting railguns. That's
I
obviously
mean,
here
yeah.
to small dicks.
It's probably it's more Steve. Yeah, probably Steve.
no, it's
Very-
definitely
no, it's us.
We
I mean,
got
you
the
too.
we
message.
just got the
Alright.
message.
Well, it's
It
fine.
came to
I
us.
understand.
Don't
Everything's fine.
I'm never
don't.
I'm
Alright,
going to get a
fine.
vasectomy now.
Good.
Please, anybody got a knife? I just need
I've
to
got
stab
one right
myself
here,
directly
Hugh.
in the taint.
If
All right.
if only we had a railgun, this would have been very
Oh
simple.
my God.
Yeah.
Look, we were just trying to neuter ourselves. Is that not good enough for Vanjie?
And I
Well,
know
I mean-
100% of the time when you take a railgun home, a fucking toddler knows how to shoot it at something.
So would you have to plug it in? I mean, does it just generate power?
I'm 1,000% sure.
Don't fucking even underestimate toddlers, man. They
I'm
get
just. They all know
everywhere.
how to operate
The real-
ridiculously
yeah.
complicated machinery. All of them.
Connor's figured out how to use my computer already.
That is he opened. You have a laptop, right?
Yeah.
So he opens the screen, logs in,
All he has to do-
accesses the Wi-Fi.
This is-
I mean, all
he
he has to
does.
do
This is a
freaking press
Ridgeway
button.
baby, all
He's
right?
an incredibly.
It's already in Mensa.
To be fair,
It is. Yeah.
God. You want to talk about fucking inadequacies? Jesus. Mensa.
just
Oh my
saying.
God.
Men's. That's the,
The word
first
men's
men's-
in it.
That's
Connor's a little too smart for Mensa. I'll
Yeah.
say
Jesus.
that. Yeah.
Jesus.
this.
This is out of I don't even know.
We're all terrible. Horrible
We're
people.
clearly terrible.
Truth.
We've never done anything right.
I
guys.
feel awful right now.
I'm
the
very-
light
That's
has
fine.
gone out of my life.
That's fine.
It's done.
Really?
It's
what
out-
good is my penis?
I am
now?
going to cross that off my bucket list
Boom,
now.
he's done.
I
Well, you didn't really do it,
destroyed-
though.
I destroyed. Oh, that's true.
You're kind
let's
of
bring
like
the mood back up a little bit.
That's true.
I want to stay. I want to remain combative.
Oh, Olive Garden, sweet. That's gone.
I just like to say, I'm all for
Thank you,
Huey
Ryan.
getting a vasectomy.
You're welcome.
Let's do it.
That is a horrible thing to say.
Why?
Look, Mike deserves this child.
You are a disturbing, disgusting human being.
Mike's a better person than all of us, guys.
Hey,
He chose not to get the
We spay and neuter
railgun.
our pets. Is Huey any better than any of our pets? Is Huey better than Carmichael, Adam?
Yes, because he's a person.
Well, that's where you
Do
and I
you
differ.
understand life at all?
Yeah.
No, you clearly don't.
I'm gonna get some water.
I hope our next email is not as.
I understand that
I'll stay.
I understand that some forms of life are better than others. My dog is better than Huey. I assume you think your dog
Lucy's
is better than
Huey.
Yeah.
No, I just said that my dog's not better than
I said
Huey.
I would assume that you would think that.
No.
You have a pretty good dog.
Yeah, Carmichael is awesome, but he's not better than a human.
Well,
This is
all right, that's just like your
very
opinion, man.
strange right now.
I don't understand. He's trying to make some kind of point about how he's superior to everyone, and I can't figure it out yet.
No, I'm trying to make
It's
a point about how
how
our
he's
dogs
superior
are
to
You have to
superior
use
Huey.
smaller words because our tiny dicks and our tiny brains can't comprehend this
I
kind
know.
of talk.
The blood flow is just
I
getting
need
split.
my-
It's
my-
confusing.
No, there's not much blood flow needed,
Pretty much everything.
apparently.
Yeah.
A ton of inadequacies. We're all just horrible people. Anyway, the next email comes from Tyjet.
Oh no, he's
Oh,
back.
right.
What
And
kind of
he-
penis does he have? Is it
It's-
small?
Tyjet's
I'm
Tyjet's
assuming-
been taking heat before he's even been on the show.
Well,
Now
I
he's-
think Tyjet had homework, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
That's why he's back.
Oh man, he's
That was given to him by Mike that Mike refuses to acknowledge.
No, go back and listen to the episode,
I
motherfucker.
I'm pretty
do
sure
every single time. Because I'm the one that edits and puts it
I-
out.
this is the homework that has to. This is the homework that has to do
it
with
started
Mike,
really
right?
rough, and
This
it's
is the one that has
continued to
everything
be
to do
really
with
I'm
rough.
pretty sure I
Weird,
gave that
right?
one.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's close enough to him giving it. Anyway,
Whatever, let's hear what Tyjet has to say.
he says,
Pretty much
hi,
the same person.
hey,
There you
MAGCast
go.
crew, and, well, sometimes Mike. Tyjet here.
Oh, hi, Tyjet.
So you've already started well.
That's fine. Tyjet, how's your
I have
podcast
to start.
going?
I have to start
Toad's
by
not riding dicks. Hashtag no dick rides.
Hashtag tiny MAGCast dicks. I have to hit dicks of the people. I have to
There
start
it
by.
is.
I have to start by saying when I heard Mike TV say he hated me, I chuckled a little. Don't quite know why, but it made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's weird.
That's kind of how I felt about that audio we just listened to as well.
You know, I agree. Anyway, my assignment was to come up with a topic to rant about, or it was for Mike to rant about. I thought long and hard on what Mike said about people talking about
that's
MAGFest
what
like
you
it's a
told him
religious
he should
experience,
do.
and when it should be considered more of a small treat. That is, excuse me for paraphrasing. I generally agree with that statement. People today don't seem to know how to rate or review things properly, except for Jeremy, because that dude totally knows how to critique.
Can you do you acknowledge that Jeremy totally critiqued the shit out of us?
Critiqued.
Critiqued.
He critiqued the shit out of us.
That's a tiny dick word right
oh,
there.
you're right.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess
Big words,
yeah,
tiny dicks. That's our motto.
That's what it is.
That's our new podcast.
That's our
Big words at the tiny dick table.
big words at the tiny dick table. Huey wins this episode. I
God,
got shit
yeah.
on that.
All
Fuck.
right, hold on. Cheers, Huey. Cheers.
Oh wow.
He says.
You're now only 2 steps behind his dog.
Yeah.
He says I'll get around to justifying my own love of MAGFest later, but for now, to turn in my homework assignment. He wants you to talk about ratings and reviews that can be found online.
Do you want like an like you can prepare and do this next episode? Prepare your rant,
That-
or
that
do you
would
have
make sense.
something?
He gave us some talking points.
Oh.
All right, yeah, let's hear the talking points. Let me see
So,
if I can bubble something up here real quick.
There's
I have opinions on this too because
You want to do Orvy's crotchety corner?
no, I mean I will let's hear the talking.
I'll do the
points.
bumper.
He says there are too many so-called reviews online that are either set to the lowest rating with a statement of "this sucks" or set to the highest rating of "this is the best fucking thing that ever existed." And he's tired of the use of the same meme or joke or whatever the hell they're trying to use to rate things 11 or 12 out of 10 at the end. Let's see here. Overuse of references, catchphrases, yada, yada, yada. The same ones over and over. These aren't really talking points now that I read it.
Actually, I already have a rant.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Hey, whippersnappers!
He's got one in the chamber.
It's time for Old Man Mike's crotchety corner. There you go, live.
Was that Bill Cosby?
That's just
Whoa.
that's the old man.
Whoa!
Whoa.
We can't talk about
Yeah,
that.
it's just an old dude.
He says especially apparent.
It's a crotchety corner.
My God. He says this is especially apparent on Steam, where people are having reviewed things while having only played the game for 0.4 hours. You can't review an RPG having only played for 20-something minutes, especially if it's a Final Fantasy. At least 10 of those are early and probably cutscenes. So how do you feel about that, Mike?
All right. So as far as online reviews go, I use them. I think we all do it to a certain extent. You got to take them with a little bit of salt. Metacritic definitely, and the way that Metacritic is linked to industry bonuses is super fucked up, and that definitely needs to change because it ruins good studios, and it will promote bad studios who manage to just hit the formula so that they get a good Metacritic score and get the bonus out of it. Orvie, you might have something to say about this, but fucking Reckoning came out, what was 3-4 years ago?
It's been a while.
That's also a completely different fucking animal.
But
because they were trying to use a single player RPG to fund an MMO,
and I mean
which is
that.
impossible.
But they missed a big payout, Big Huge Games at least, and 38 Studios, which Big Huge would have gotten some of that money.
Yes.
Because I think it only got like an 81 on Metacritic.
Sure.
85, and there was like $1 million payout. Actually, if you go online, a lot of the memos and documents from 38 Studios have been released to the public as part of the Rhode Island suit against them.
I don't know. Let's stay off that because I'm going to talk about that for an hour.
That's fair. That's fair. But the thing that I really fucking hate is everybody on YouTube these days giving reviews of old games. And
that's personal for you.
It is.
Man.
And I mean, listen,
Here comes the rant.
Yeah. To a certain extent, it's fine. If there's like one or two people out there like, hey, I played this weird game for the Super Nintendo called Pieces, and it's not like a well-known game, and it's like, yeah, let's talk about Pieces, and it's got this interesting mechanic, and that's nice. I don't need 25 fucking reviews of Chrono Trigger about how it's the greatest RPG on the SNES. Everyone already fucking knows that. Every magazine in the fucking 90s already said that. You do not need to add your opinion to it. You do not need an hour episode of your fucking stupid YouTube series that you're hoping to get a payout for to tell us that Chrono Trigger is awesome. It's known. It is a known quantity. Look somewhere else. Fill a different niche. The niche has been filled to overflowing. We don't need your fucking opinion. Contribute some other way to the gaming diaspora.
That was a big dick
All
word.
that was
a
while
really
he was
big dick
balancing
word.
his alcohol on his knee.
That was a really big dick word he used.
Oh, whoa.
I don't even know how to pronounce that
Diaspora?
one. It's diaspora.
That was a very.
That's a very.
big word.
That is a large.
That's my favorite
penile
turn-based
word.
strategy game.
I might have actually pronounced that wrong. I've only ever read it.
That's fine. That's still way bigger dick than everything I'll ever come up with.
That's
So it's fine.
That's
a
I mean,
non-railgun word.
it's known that you don't like YouTubers.
It is, and I do. I catch. There's
Which
some friends. There's people in my friends list.
which are your preferred YouTube reviewers?
I don't watch any of them.
You don't watch any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he wants to go to nostalgia, he goes through his own history.
Well, here's the thing.
He was there.
I listen to video game music on YouTube,
Sure.
and invariably,
On
like,
the playlists or the suggested videos.
yes, it's like, so watch this, and like if I'm not paying attention, suddenly someone will come up and just be like, hey guys, this is
So which ones? Let me ask you. I am a YouTuber fellow. I don't do reviews, but I do silly sportscasting and stuff.
It's fine.
No, you feel free to shit on me. But anyways, what bothers you more as someone that has seen these reviews? Do you hate the low quality? Like, here's a guy that clearly doesn't belong on camera, and he's kind of just like, well, I played.
Those are pretty bad.
But do you hate that more than the overproduced, super high energy, like, hey guys, we just played Mega Man 3 for the 5th. Oh, see?
It
and
actually caused him physical
that's
pain.
what he hates.
Yeah,
I just fought Woodman. It was totally epic.
Yeah, I think I hate
Ooh.
those more.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the guys who don't belong on camera, it's like I pity them more than I hate them. The guys who are just like, hey man, we just went through Secret of Evermore and we're here to give you all the tips and tricks to get through it and let you know what's down with this game. God, I just hate them for trying so hard.
I think I just hate video games sometimes. You know?
All right, you know what? We're going to turn this into Mike Ridgway's Real Corner or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, kids, it's time for Mike Ridgway's Real Corner.
man, super racist.
There it is.
Something, guys.
Yeah.
That one's for you,
God.
Jeremy.
Straight for Jeremy. Straight out of Jeremy.
God, stop it! You're awful.
Oh God, it's probably we wouldn't
Better
be this
than
way if
straight
we had a
into Jeremy,
railgun.
if you
is
know
all
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
Oh God, no! I mean, it's like the old stuff is deeply personal to me, and I wasn't very well.
Articulate. Come on.
Am a nerd. Was very much a nerd growing up. Didn't that was my main escape and main way to feel cool because I was and still am not cool. So it's deeply personal, and the stories and the characters all really ingrained in me, and so I have a lot of feelings attached to them. And I'll admit, I feel like a lot of people are kind of Johnny-come-latelys to this, and it's just yeah, we're gonna literally show you what this really cool game is, and it's it's different, you weren't there.
So are you entirely against people discovering new things and then putting it on YouTube?
I'm not. It just there is a fucking. Who knows?
There's an expiration date to finding.
No, I mean
I'm so confused.
The part of it is probably that the thing I love is now mainstream, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to be a hipster about it a little bit, I guess, because it's important to me, and then just seeing and I felt it made me feel special,
It feels cheapened.
You know,
a little bit. It's just
I think this comes into play about how our generation is legitimately different than than the current generation, because to us, enjoying that game, if you find something that you enjoy, you'd be like, hey man, this is cool, I found it, and then you tell your friends.
yeah.
But them putting it on YouTube and then becoming popular, that's just equivalent to that for them, because they
It's
can
just
do
on
that.
a broader scale
So
because they have
yeah.
It's actually
ability
just
to do that.
us actually being like, you know what, you fucking kids,
And
you don't know what it was like.
It very well may be that, and I am willing. I'm open to that possibility
Yeah.
because I don't watch Let's Players.
Yeah, and neither do I.
I don't really watch the reviews because it's what do I need this for? And maybe this is the equivalent of Blockbuster rentals. Maybe kids, they don't have all these games, so they watch the Let's Plays and they watch the reviews. I went to Blockbuster and got a game, every other week or so. And so that was the thing I went to school and talked about. And, it's, I mean, part of it's also because this is before video games were mainstream.
I was going to say, maybe it's because we're also bitter that there's no
Yeah.
stigma attached to video games anymore.
Yeah, we went through the trudges of being
Trudges?
a gamer.
Trenches?
we trudged through the
Trudged
trenches.
the
this
trenches.
is-
We trudged through
Look,
the trenches.
This is a non-railgun associative language that I'm
Yeah, I
using
know.
here with my inadequacies and my tiny wiener and all
Yep.
that stuff. All the insults that were used.
I get you with the floppy.
Yeah, I went with the floppy hand there to show the inadequacies of what's happening. Anyway, so we went through the garbage. I'll use simpleton words so I can
The
understand.
trash.
We went through the trash of life being gamers in the 90s
You had
when
to- you had to
when
find
you being a gamer and being super into video games was laughable at best.
And you had to find people that were your peers
Secretively,
and you had to be
without
like, "Guys,
exposing yourself too much
Yes,
to the
yeah,
outside
that's true.
world.
And now, you just hop online, you just look for people with similar interests, and you found friends.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you hate
Maybe.
MAGFest.
No.
MAGFest is one giant thing where people can find
I have a
friends.
feeling
Well,
that this
no.
is all stemming not to being like a hipster. I think Mike's just jealous of the current generation because it's way easier for them.
No,
Oh,
it's
Mike's
not that. I know jealousy. Jealousy is a favorite emotion of mine.
I think this is a
so-
deep rooted jealousy.
So my going off what you guys said, my brother and I were basically the people we knew who were the most into video games. Everyone played video games to a certain extent. My brother and I were the ones that really obsessed over them, and to this day, my brother and I are typically the only video game fans that we can really stand. No offense, guys, our tastes are just similar. So
RPGs.
well, yeah, and weird Japanese shit.
Tiny robots.
Weeaboo shit. I'll admit it. I love that weeaboo shit. So,
Is that? Can you say that?
I don't think
thought
you
I
can
was the
say
racist
that.
one.
Yeah. I don't think you're allowed to
that's-
say that.
Oh no, that's just racist against otaku kids.
That's
Yeah,
just
it's not racist. It's just fandomist.
yeah,
I guess.
Which whatever.
It's a subgenre of a type of fan that is insufferable.
Yeah. And then I went to college, and it was even more isolated because, like, I was the only video game guy. The one that just was like, "All right, guys, I play video games and love them. I want to talk about them in public." And then you get the eye, like people just like,
That eye.
"Oh, you play video games."
right.
Okay.
Now people can talk about him openly.
Yeah.
And make
Well,
money off of it.
dude,
That's jealousy.
It's weird.
Now I'm getting to it, you motherfucker.
Oh,
well,
shit.
get with the
Wow.
program.
Yeah,
We're
you're
40
giving-
minutes into your explanation.
Whatever. And
You're,
so,
you're,
like,
you're
no,
telling
the
old
first
man stories, man.
the first time I really got that other people like video games is when I heard about Entertainment System.
Okay.
And I went out to see them play down at Patterson Park.
Okay.
And I started hanging out with them, and then I met all you motherfuckers, and that's how we're here today.
And the rest,
And-
as they say.
Is history. So coming into this, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I am jealous. It's easier. Maybe it's also the fact that, I don't know, I try to balance other shit and then make people come to MAGFest and be like, this is important. But,
That's because to some people it is.
eh.
It's because some people
wrong.
live in places that don't have an entertainment system to bring everybody together.
Also,
They
some
don't
people
have a
are-
rock opera society to bring everybody together. They are actually living in their mother's basement, unironically, because they're shunned by their community, and then they come to MAGFest to see what you saw hanging out with Entertainment System.
But even though I was still into super into video games,
Did you the break?
The break.
That
Yeah.
I got him, and he's pissed about
He's
it.
getting that put on his
There it is.
tombstone.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
even though I was still super into video games, I did make those attempts to connect with people.
But not
outside of it.
everybody has the fucking bullheadedness that you do.
Everyone does.
No.
Yeah, they do.
That is just absolutely false.
That is just fucking nature versus nurture bullshit there, Adam, man. Everyone can do it.
I had him.
Unless
I had him. He understood. and then he had to
you
turn the
have
persona back
a
on.
diagnosed medical condition that says
A
you-
lot of people that go to MAGFest have those, Mike.
Okay, a lot of people that go to MAGFest say they have
Oh,
them because they
here it
diagnosed
is.
themselves
Man.
off of WebMD.
There it is.
What?
Jesus.
There
What?
it is.
You're going to tell me that
I
internet nerds do not use fucking medical conditions that they find on WebMD
No,
to tell
very
people that is their
specifically
excuse why
not.
they are
That's
assholes?
I just said bam, man.
Man.
Why are you looking at me?
You're probably talking about some people you know, too. You better be careful.
If-
the mag crews are coming.
They-
Man.
Whatever.
I agree. I do think people overuse terms they hear.
people get butthurt.
All right, how many people on the internet say they have Asperger's but actually have medically diagnosed Asperger's? Because that was
I'm
the
not
big
touching
thing for a
that
while.
I'm not
Yeah,
touching
we're-
that subject with a 10-foot pole. Fuck that.
Let's
Nope.
just boil it down, guys.
I'm
Let's divide people into
just
groups.
saying.
Put them in certain camps.
Do we have any more email, Adam?
We have the rest of this one before
Oh,
Mike
Jesus.
gets...
We have more email to get to. We either
Hi, Jack.
are or aren't doing a mobile game challenge. I didn't even get to talk about Battlefield and Overwatch. God, everything's
Oh, actually,
Battle Watch and
I
Overfield.
yeah.
So basically, the
Not
rest of this
Field.
email is called Mag Rating, an unnecessary retort, where he's basically retorting your MagFest attendees' religious,
All right, good,
all
good.
that. He says, I
Continue
agree
the
that MagFest is not a religious experience. I've never had one of those, and I don't expect to. It is a treat, though. MagFest
That's
Prime,
fine.
for me, is a 4-day out of the 365 or 366 of the year where I get to live at a swanky-ass hotel with an extensive arcade and gaming room a few floors away, sweet concerts every night, and can stop to chat with random passersby about shared interests.
Except for Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't talk to me.
Using a 1 to 10 scale, I'd rate my normal day, my normal day-to-day life at 3, maybe 4 on my best days. Mag Prime has always been a solid 8. Mag Stock is a solid 6. And if you're wondering why a guy who loves MagFest so much only gives Prime an 8, it's because I can be realistic. I doubt I've ever had a 9-day, and 10 10 is waking up with superpowers. 10 is waking up to winning the lottery. 10 is meeting Kevin Conroy or Patrick Stewart. 10 is very, very unlikely to happen. The most definitely was me ranting, and this has gone on way too long. I'm not sure what that means.
Me the talking to
You know
you
what?
good now, I am. See?
Yeah.
You know what?
Sorry for all the parentheses. Signed, Ty Jet.
You know
Ty
what?
Jet, thank you for keeping it real. That was very real.
That
I
was
appreciate
very
it.
real. That was a legit.
That was pretty
Ty
good.
Jet, kudos to you, man.
Ty Jet legitimately came at me and made some good points, and I will respect that.
Man, that's like a post-game wrap-up. I love that.
Just
Yeah.
Ty,
I went out
Jet.
there, I gave it my all. Ty Jet came at me.
You quite literally can't get a higher compliment from Mike TV.
There's
at
no
least
way.
in public. That's
Oh,
you
yeah.
win.
That's the highest thing a mag attendee can get from Mike TV. Slight tolerance.
We've got the last. We've got the last email here. This one's
All
probably the most fun for you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
This is from
yeah.
a guy named Justin, and it's entitled Adam VIP Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason I saved it for you guys.
I'm excited.
It says, "Oh, I could lie and claim that I was the winner at Mag Classic, but fuck that. Adam selling me on the event at Otakon 2 years ago and promising dick drawings is what got me there. And I'll be forever thankful for being introduced to the coolest event in existence. I'm still enjoying the free princess scooter I won at last year's MagFest charity auction.
Oh,
Screw that guy who wanted it because I found a better, more loving home with me. So if the Adam VIP experience still goes unclaimed, I'd like to offer a donation in order to claim the experience just for the lulz. And because each time I've gotten to chat with Adam for a bit and hang out, it has been memorable." Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'll be listening to see what happens.
Mike is struggling to remain
Love you
silent.
guys and love the podcast. Keep it up. It makes the wait for more mag slightly more tolerable.
You know-
Signed, Justin.
how many people actually listen to this podcast?
I
Because
tried.
We keep finding out. Somebody else is like, dude, I love your podcast. Been listening to it forever. I'm like, why don't you email us? We don't know you exist.
Here's the thing, though. No matter what, no matter how many people like it's with radio, with online content, anything, you're at most going to get like 5 to 10% of your populace that ever interact directly.
That is very true.
So we can assume
The same thing happened with Albs, an innocent looking bookstore,
That's
also
true.
on the Thunderground Network.
Boom.
It was just our fucking friends.
It was just our friends that a lot of the time that were emailing in, and I know for a fact that Albs had a fuck ton of listeners.
It was a funny show.
That show was hilarious.
It
Go
was.
back and
Anyways,
listen to the
Mike.
old back catalog. Albs is hilarious.
Yes. What's up?
How did you feel about that email?
I've forgotten it already. Oh, it was about the VIP experience.
Well, you clearly didn't forget about it already.
It
then
took me a second to recall it. So, I mean, if he's gonna give money to charity, and I think you should just like deadpan the entire time. Don't say a word to him.
Oh man,
He just wants to ruin this guy's happy time.
I saved what could have been the most joyous upbeat for the end of the show. I figured you guys would give me more shit like you did in the beginning of the show
we kind of got
and
Everyone-
make me feel
no, we-
super
we
fucking
did-
awkward like you always tend to
It's
do.
kind of run its course.
I know it clearly
You're
hasn't.
the only one keeping this alive, Adam.
No, I didn't say.
that was amazing.
I didn't say a fucking thing in the beginning of the show. In the 40 minutes of the beginning of the show,
We haven't said anything in longer. We were just gonna let the Adam Cheese experience go by for this episode. You're the one who brought it up again.
Oh,
no,
man.
the email did.
You brought up the email.
I read
You're the one who brought
all.
up the emails.
I read all of the emails that come to the show.
Yeah,
all
you're the
of
only
them.
one who reads the emails. You had the choice whether to bring this up or not.
This is amazing. The attack and retreat that continuously happens. Yeah, you're the one that did it. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't
no.
do that. Well, yeah, you're the one that did this, though. Actually, I didn't do that. Yeah, but you're the one that did that thing. You're the one that woke up this morning.
Yeah, you're the one that took a breath today. All right,
It's your choice to read that email, Adam.
it's your choice to die in a fire.
It
No,
probably
it's
is.
not. That's more of the thing I would not.
No,
choose
you're
to
right.
do.
I'm
know
going to
what,
make
guys?
that
I'm gonna
choice
plug the
later.
TV show
And
Black. It's
this
really good.
has been episode 33
We're gonna do the
that may or may not end in
challenge?
homicide.
We're gonna
that-
do the challenge.
Well, I tried to end the show and you disrupted it, so that fits the episode well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Orvie. We had a mobile gaming challenge. It was
Oh,
Alpha
oh.
Bear.
All right, so yeah, Mobile Gaming Challenge Alpha Bear was the 92nd round with only the 4 bear as your options. So we'll knock this out real quick. Huey, how did you do?
Failed.
You just failed. What's your score? Come on, you got to give me a score. What was your best? What was your favorite word that you nailed on this one?
Did
you get any good words?
Probably not. Hold on. Just go to somebody else for now.
Oh my God, Mike, what do you got?
I just did it during the episode. I got 2,894 points, and my longest word was seeps.
Seeps?
Yes.
Just SEEPS?
Yes.
All right. Adam, word games. How do you feel?
It was 18 something. I don't have the exact score. I'm just going to say 1,800
All right.
to keep myself an honest man. I think my longest word was rakes. RAKES.
All right. Mr. Maya.
I can say that I played outside
Yeah,
of the
I gotta
realm
pull
of
it
just
up.
the 90-second, and I did actually get habitat, which was an awesome fucking word for that game.
Ooh.
But it didn't go into the contest, so it doesn't count.
But that was on the big board?
Yeah.
Habitat?
Yeah. I think Ryan's currently looking up
Well,
his
I'm as I said, it wasn't a great game for me. I still beat Adam, thank God. I wasn't in last place. I did about 2,400, I think.
Okay.
And I remember I got a weird one. I got Quarry.
Okay.
That's a good one, yeah. QU.
Yeah.
QUARRY.
I had the double R's and I spotted it. I was ready. Huey, do you have it yet? What do you got?
I got a straight 2.
Just $2,000?
Yeah, it was like 2005 or something like that.
2005. That's not a great year.
That was a really shitty year for me.
I don't remember pretty much any day.
Graduated.
Mr. Meyer?
I had 3773.
37.
Damn, Ryan is the
Ryan
wiener.
smashed it. Annie actually was telling us her score. She had, 33 or something?
I think she said 3380 if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
so she got a solid second place to Mr. Meyer. Meyer wins the mobile game challenge. We should be keeping score of these, I guess. We should keep track of it. We need like a little tally.
I only won one, and that's the only one I'm ever going to win, and I'm happy with
Ryan,
that.
I think, has won a couple. Or no, Huey fake won the hexagon one. But I've got an easy one for this week.
Okay.
It's since this is the Halloween episode, I'll go ahead and throw this one out there. It's a nice, easy, just platformy, jumpy, shooty game.
Okay.
It's called Monster Dash. Get Monster Dash. I believe it's free. And we're gonna do the fourth. I believe it's either the fourth or the fifth stage, and it is a licensed Ghostbusters level. You get a proton pack, and you got to shoot Slimers.
Okay, so it's the Ghostbuster level. What's the
No. Just I think you can the free to play thing is like you can buy power ups for your weapons and stuff. So just first Ghostbusters level, no power ups, high score, easy peasy.
score? Okay.
Monster Dash.
Monster Dash. Look for that in your app
And then
store.
I guess next week we'll have to save Battlefront. We'll have to save Overwatch for all that next week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, I think this is actually going to be the end
I hope so.
of
This has been
episode
stressful as hell.
33. This has been a stressful
Yeah,
one.
A little bit.
This is your inadequate host, Big Adam.
I'm Ryan.
We're over here.
Huey.
Vanjie's husband.
Thanks for listening. See you later.
My dick is giant.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts, guests, and artists featured on the show. They are not necessarily the views or opinions of MAGFest itself. Any questions, comments, or complaints can be sent to podcast@magfest.org.